Hello and welcome to our latest product, which is this lovely little Hunslet. Actually, this locomotive is a replica of a Hunslet that was bought in 1904 by the Cambrian Railway from the Lambourne Valley Railway. Now, the significance of this particular one is that it was one of 3 locomotives, 2 of them were Hunslets, and it went on to be absorbed by the Great Western, and this is one of our things. We like to model absorbed locomotives. So this locomotive comes from our Shapeways shop. The buffers are fitted. The only thing you need to fit to this are the handrails, which I've done myself, as you can probably tell, and painting. And the mountings are already there, 2 at the front, 1 at the rear, which go straight onto an Electrotren chassis. Now, the original prototype, as you can see, is already fitted to a chassis, but there are 2 variations on the Electrotren 060 chassis. This is with the older one, which we've actually designed our model to take. And the 2 mounting points, or the 2 screws, if I can grab a screwdriver and show you. The 2 at the front are situated behind the cylinders here. Yeah? And the 1 at the back is obviously here at the back. And that's where our body is designed to mount. Now, on the later Electrotrens, there is an off-centre screw, as this one is here, which actually mounts through to the body. It also holds on the chip on the inside, which I'll show you in a second. Now, what we do is basically take 2 1mm by 5mm screws, and we use those to attach via the original mounting point, which is still drilled into the chassis. I think they must have changed it for ease of production, but the chassis is essentially the same. So that's the only thing you need to watch. Now here I have 2 Electrotren boxes. This is the older one that we designed our model for, so I'll let you take a close look at that. GV 2005. And as shown, that just screws straight on using the original screws from the donor. This is one of the newer ones, GV 2017. And nice little box, nice little loco, but HO gauge. Ours are 00 gauge for those outside the UK planning to use our models. And if I take this out the box, it is a lovely little loco in its own right, to be fair, but HO scale, and we want the Great Western, so I shall take this body off and demonstrate how easy it is to assemble our kit. As you can see, we have the screw at the back and the off-centre one at the front, which isn't there on the prototype. So anyway, so we take this screw out at the back, trying not to lose the screw, and the one at the front. And the loco should come away, which it does. And here lies the problem. The chip is attached to the screw which goes through the body. Now, we don't need the screw, but we do need the chip. Having taken that screw out, we're left with the chip being loose. And what I'm going to do is a bit Heath Robinson. I'm just going to put a dab of glue on there to hold it on. Not enough that you couldn't remove it if you needed to, but enough to stop it moving around and keep it safe. You can see through the chassis the two holes at the front by the cylinders. That's where you attach the loco to our body. Now, one thing I'd recommend with this is just get a drill and just open out the holes a little bit, just to allow the screws to get started, especially at the back, because it's not a self-tapping screw. And what I've also done is screw the screws in so that they actually get a bit of a thread in the hole ready, which will make assembly that little bit easier. With a dab of contact adhesive holding the chip in place, so that shouldn't move, we're now ready to fit the body. And it's just a case of feeding it all in nice and gently. So that it's all neatly lined up. Make sure that you're happy that the body is level. And I think there it's slightly out, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to file away the two front mounts just a little bit, just to level up the chassis a little bit. Once you're happy, the last stage is the easiest of all. Being careful with the bit that you've just glued on. You're now ready to line up and screw in the holes. Once you're happy, you just get the screws and screw it all together. I would recommend starting with the rear one, which will hold everything in place. Don't do it up fully tight, just grabbing like that. Then the fiddly bit, getting the front two screws in. Ah, found it. This is fiddly, I will admit, but it's worth it. So that's two 5mm by 1mm screws, and that's your loco all assembled. Now you'll notice the lack of Great Western decals. It's Great Western spelt out. We've tried looking at 4mm decals and they're too large, so we're going to look at 3mm, and you just want Great Western written across there in the Great Western typeface. There is a number that goes on the back. I shall look up the number and let you know that, and I'll also leave a link at the bottom for our Shapeways shop where you can buy the loco. But there it is, all finished. We've put a bit of coal on the bunker, and that is a very nice addition. Just needs running in and it's ready to go. Right, just as a footnote, here's the book that I took the drawings from, which is Great Western Absorbed Locos, and as you can see from the photo, that is the way that the Great Western needs to be written, and the loco number is 819 for those that want to be really accurate.